Can you tell if this ghost story is real or from a book? Everybody in the family hated Aunt Phoebe. It seemed like everybody in the world hated Aunt Phoebe. She thought children should be seen and not heard. She hated puppies. She yelled at customer service workers. She probably hated Baja Blasts. She had no friends, no lovers, and it seemed like all she liked to do was smoke and scared little children. One of those little children was her niece Carol. Carol was scared of Aunt Phoebe. She'd just haunt the couch like a demon chimney on every holiday. She'd yell at the children to go outside and play in the cold because she didn't like the sound of their happiness. When Carol grew up, had a baby, got married, and moved away from Maine, she left Phoebe behind. And in 1980, when Phoebe was 50 going on 5,000, she was diagnosed with an aggressive form of lung cancer. This woman smoked until the bitter end, until she literally was too weak to put the cigarette to her face. Carol had zero intention of going to the funeral, but her mom said that she'd be so sad if she couldn't attend. Carol was quick to point out that she had a baby, a husband who had to work, and no funds to be able to fly out there and put herself up in a hotel. And her mom offered to pay, and so off she went. When she got there, she was nonplussed to learn that she would not be staying in a hotel. She would be staying in Aunt Phoebe's frickin' house. She'd never been there before, but she was actually pleasantly surprised when they pulled up to a very nice Victorian home. The happiness ended there, though, because when they opened the door, it was just a wall of stale smoke. Years of smoke had just permeated the cushions, yellowed the walls. But she decided to make the best of it, and she just tried to air out the house for as long as she could in the Maine chill. She found the least disgusting room, which was, of course, a guest room that had probably never been used. Her and her baby fell into a fitful night of sleep, only to be awoken with a start by the smell of fresh smoke. Confused, Carol looked around, and she was absolutely horrified to see the figure of Aunt Phoebe sitting at the end of the bed, just staring at her, smoking. Carol had no idea what to do, so she was just kind of locked in the staring contest with a ghost. But dead ladies will always win that, so she ended up just grabbing her baby and jumping toward the light switch and turning on the light. Illumination filled the room, and when she turned around, Phoebe was gone. Carol's first thought was to leave, but she had no car. Phoebe had no working phone. She had a small baby, and it was super cold outside, and she couldn't walk anywhere. She knew she was stuck there for the night, and the baby started rousing, and so she rushed to turn off the light. But when she turned back around, Aunt Phoebe was there again, except for now she had twisted around and was just sitting there staring at her at the light switch. She turned on the light, she was gone. She turned it off, there was Aunt Phoebe again with that crazy stare. Carol turned on every single light, ran downstairs, and kind of hunkered down on a chair with her baby. Her baby fell asleep, but she knew that she was not going to be getting any rest that night. For there were footsteps going across the entire expanse of the second floor, as though Aunt Phoebe were just pacing with her bitchy little smoker feet, waiting for Carol to come back up. In the morning, when Carol's mom came to pick her up for the funeral, Carol told her she would not be staying in the house again. Carol's mom rolled her eyes, but she ultimately agreed that she would stay in her sister Aunt Phoebe's house and Carol could take her hotel room. But guess who ended up at Carol's hotel room in the middle of the night, so scared she could barely talk? Yes, the mom, because she had also encountered Aunt Phoebe. They did try to rent out this house, but every single tenant left because apparently Phoebe was extremely active. She may not have liked people in life, but she certainly liked haunting people in death. So, what do you think? Was this real or from a book? Put it in the comments. It's real. I knew Carol. She's the mother of my friend Belinda, who was the baby in this story.